I can't work with gloves, y'all. I can't work with gloves to save my life. Oh, another video. I started using my own fish fertilizer. Y'all know me. Y'all know that I'm determined to get these onions how I want. I am going to make sure I at least follow the garden guidelines when it come down to onions. Cause I be doing my own thing. I don't have to go out and buy anymore. I can just use my free fish. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am T. I am growing in New Orleans Zone 9B. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And on today's video, I will be transplanting my onions. Yes, I dropped the seeds, they grow, but they grow too much in their tray cell. It's too many in the tray cell, so I'm going to transplant them into another cell of their own so they can grow healthy and strong. And on today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be showing y'all how I transplant my onions into bigger cells. So welcome and stay tuned. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to take y'all where I keep my onions. I just keep them in my windowsill. It gets nice and sunny. All right. All right, this is the window. This is my hydroponic system. So I got it sitting behind the hydroponic system. So at night when the lights are off, the hydroponic system will give my onions some light as well. All right. And I will be putting my onions back in that spot because they're doing so well, y'all. They're doing so well. I just want to give them a trim and just amend that soil a little bit and put them back inside the window. All right, this is some soil I already had. This is some soil I already amended. I used the same soil I used from when I transplanted my other plants inside the garden. So I kept that soil. No need to keep buying soil when you can reuse and repurpose your soil. So what I did was I amended my soil, and I add, I amended this soil. I put some pure life inside of this soil, and some bone meal and some Dr. Earth. So this soil is well amended. And so what I'm doing here is filling up the cell tray so I can transplant the onions inside of their temporary home until they get big enough to transplant outdoors. Now, I already had a set of onions. I did this already, and I transplanted those when they got a little bigger. I transplanted those inside of my green stalk. So these the ones that need to be transplanted. Well, in another cell. Well, in their own cell. I'm gonna use that for something else. All right, these are the onions here. I've already trimmed these onions already, but they need to be trimmed again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and trim them now, and then I'm going to add them in the cell tray. I can't work with gloves, y'all. I can't work with gloves to save my life. I'm just I'm just more comfortable using, you know, my hands. All right, my bare hands. Okay, so what I'm doing here, some of these are already have only one inside of the cell tray. So if I see only one inside of the cell tray, I'm just gonna leave it where it be, because I do see the thickness, the thickness of this one, like this one, and a few other ones. So I'm just gonna leave it inside of their cell tray. Like this one, I'm gonna cut. All these need to be cut down, literally all of them. So I'm gonna give them a haircut before I transplant them. I just fertilized them with the fish fertilizer I made, and yo, that's a whole another video. I started using my own fish fertilizer. I started making my own fish fertilizer. I go fishing, and if I catch a small fish, I will keep it, put it in the freezer, and when it's time to throw it in my bucket and sit it inside of my garden, I put the lid on the top, and I let it decompose.
And I forgot to mention that fish fertilizer is is high in nitrogen and phosphorus. The nitrogen is good for your leafy greens. That's gonna help with your leafy greens.
This is the stick I use for my little hole. More than two. This one has two in one cell tray. So I'm going to separate this. I'm going to show you how to separate them. Get a little bit closer. I have my tray down here so it can catch my soil I drop. So this is the two. All right. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Kind of shake that soil off and just separate them apart like that. See, that's two onions. And now I'm going to transplant them inside of two different trays. This is the little hole right here. And this is what I just took out of one cell tray. And I'm gonna just drop it right inside of that hole. Just like that. Smash it down just a little. See? And I'm going to repeat the same process. Put them roots down in there. And this one. A little more dirt. Y'all, so if y'all know me, y'all know that I'm determined to get these onions how I want them. So I am going to make sure I am so careful with these onions, because I do want to be successful in these onions, y'all. Because I wasn't, successful when I first started gardening with my onions. So I am going to make sure I at least follow the garden guidelines when it come down to onions. Cause I be doing my own thing. Your girl do her own thing. Yo, they had, let me see, they had four, five, wait, six in one cell tree. Wow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the more healthier ones and I'm gonna plant them because if I feel like they're not strong enough, I'm not gonna deal with them like this. You see how this one look? This one only have like two roots. Like I don't need to waste my time with that one. I'm gonna, transplant the most stronger ones, the ones I know that's gonna make it like something like this with a bunch of roots. See that? All right. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Do the same thing I did with the first two. And y'all, they don't need to be put. Well, mine don't need to be put outside yet. I am not bringing it outside. I'm going to put them back in the windowsill. I'm not bringing them inside until they get strong enough, thick and healthy. And I'm going to show you how thick it needs to be for you to transplant them outdoors. It needs to be, definitely needs to be thick enough. Because you don't want to put your little babies out and they get scalded by the sun. Frost come and it, I mean, onions, they can tolerate frost because that's what they do. You have to go a whole, they have to be in the ground for the whole month, the whole winter months. And it can tolerate the winter. But if you try putting the little baby onions out that's small like this, it won't survive. It won't survive, y'all. It's too way too little. And these roots is so long, so you gotta be careful with the roots. Getting them back inside of that hole. Okay, this one look good.
Okay, so with the fish fertilizer, it is high in nitrogen and phosphorus. The nitrogen, it helps with the leafy greens, the little string you see. So you're gonna make sure you have to put more nitrogen before phosphorus. But the phosphorus you're gonna need for your onion bulbs. So use a fertilizer that's high in phosphorus for your onion bulb. And what I like to do is I like to put blood meal in the same hole when I transplant my onions into the garden. Blood meal or either use coffee grinds. And if I don't have any more fish fertilizer for my phosphorus, I use banana water. Banana water is high in phosphorus for your onion bulbs. So I do have a video showing how I make the banana water. You can drop some banana peels down as well, and that will break down in the phosphorus that you would need. But banana water It works as well for your phosphorus. And I go in with a banana water liquid every at least once a week with the banana water.
And I'm sorry if y'all wanted to see how I amended this soil. I just used my old soil I had from my old transplant. Cause I know sometimes, my subscribers they be wanting to see me do stuff step by step. I got a lot of videos I'm amending my soil. I got a lot. So I'll definitely link my a video in the description on me amending my soil and using old soil. Cause yo, we ain't got time to be buying no soil every time we transplant or every time we get ready to plant something. We need to save. If it's any way to save, that's what we need to do. That's what we have to do. Feeding your family is one thing, but still spending stuff on stuff when you know you can save, you might as well go into the store. What's the purpose of you having a garden? You might as well go to the store and just buy the food. All the money you trying to spend on it on making a garden. So yeah, I just find cheap ways to do it. Like these cell trays, these cell trays. I didn't even buy these cell trays. I got these cell trays was sitting in the trash on the curb, and it said the word free on it. So you know what? I got it. It was these and some other cell trays I had, and I got some more cell trays from Lowe's. Check out your local Lowe's, y'all. Lowe's be having these little trays. They be they be for free. Like this, they all be free. You just gotta repurpose them and reuse them. I don't throw nothing away, y'all. I'm sorry. All right. Oh no, I think I pulled that too. Yo, that cell tray was so dry. And when I pulled it up, I kind of pulled my onions with it. I felt me pulling my roots from the separating from the other ones. I feel so bad. All right, so this next one, I'm gonna do better. Look at that, came straight right on out. See, when it's dry like that, it don't slide out like that. But when that dirt is nice and moist, it will slide right on out. And yo, I know these onions was suffering because it was four in one cell. So we doing these onions a big, big favor, y'all, by separating them and putting them in their own cell tray. A huge favor. Some of these roots is so long. I gotta make sure I'm getting them roots all the way down in there and not damaging them. Like this one definitely needs to be cut down. That one and that one. I pretty much want all of them the same length. So that way when I go in, I can cut them all together. Just grab the top of them and cut. Even cut. All right, another one. I will be, as soon as I already gave these onions a feed for as a fertilizer, I'm going to wait another 2 weeks and I'm gonna feed it again. This one got 5 in there. See that? It's so many onions. 3, 4. That's 4. These 2 is a little too thin, so I'm not gonna be bothered with that one. 5, 6. So it was 6 inside of that one cell tray. And right now they do look a little droopy and leggy right now because they going into a little they going into a little transplant shop because they normally don't be outside, and it's not hot out here. It's really cool. But still, I'm disturbing their roots. I'm disturbing their home. So yeah, they look a little sad right now. But once them roots get established inside of these pockets, they'll be all right. They're gonna be looking green and healthy. Y'all been so nice and kind to hang with me. So nice and kind. Put that down there. I don't know if I said it or not, but I do have my spot ready for my onions. I got that spot amended already. I got that spot ready for my onions to be right in there, but I do have to pull them okras up. The okra's still producing, but they're so huge. I don't know if I want to pull it up or just leave it there. I don't know. It all depends. It all depends on how I feel when I get ready to transplant my onions. Because I can use that space for my onions. And them okras is kind of dying back anyway. They produce so much for me this summer. So I'm not really worried about pulling them up because and then they grow so fast. And I did kept me some okra seeds. So for next season. All right. Let's trim that. How thick this one is. That sucker huge. Look like I see a bulb coming in already. That's how thick it is. So I'm gonna think of creative ways to get these onions inside of somewhere. Like if I gotta do another crate method, use some crates for my onions. I could probably fit I give it about 3, 4 onions inside of that one little milk crate. Probably more than that. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. All right. This is another one I need to transplant too. This one has so many in one. Okay, y'all. So with this one, we have thicker roots and just like a thicker onion. Then the smaller ones I was separating because they came out of this bigger tray. So now I'm gonna go ahead and separate them. But the thing is, since these roots is so long, I can't put them inside of these little cell trays because the roots is so long. We want to give these roots more room to grow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one back inside of here. So I'm going to fill it with some soil. Hope y'all can see. I'm going to just put them roots right down into that one cell. And this is a bigger cell, guys. So I'm going to throw some more soil on it. And I'm going to repeat with the rest of them. Take them dead little leaves off. Drop that down in that soil. And just like I said, we're only doing these because they came out of this tree. We just separate them. But the cell tree is bigger, so we're dealing with bigger roots. So we have to make sure we put our onions inside of a bigger cell tree. I see if we were just taking it out of this, we should just, transplant them in another cell by itself this size. But this size, they're a little bit thicker, and the roots is way too big for that little cell tree. There you have it. And I did do two more just like that. Those are good to go. I'm done with them brassicas, y'all. Them brassicas gave me hell getting in the ground, trying to figure out, trying to maximize and figure out what I'm gonna do with those brassicas. I have I do put the vermiculite on top to lock in that moisture because I was working with moist soil. So we gonna keep that soil moist. So what I do is I just pretty much sprinkle them on top to lock in that moisture. I do want to go ahead and cut some more so they can all be the same size. These in here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, I'm about to show y'all where I'm going to sit them. All right, let's go back in the window. All right, we back in my windowsill. This is the watering can. I'm gonna water it from the bottom. I just lift that up like that and just give it the whole bottle I have of water. And I also do the same thing when I fertilize. I put my fertilizer in here and give it a feed, the whole thing. I will be fertilizing in another 2 weeks. That's it. It's empty. All right. Should give them another haircut. But I'm gonna do that another hydroponic system. Hydroponic system.
right here in front of it, and my hydroponic system will give it that sunlight and that heat it needs at night. I turn my hydroponic system on at night, but during the day I turn it off. And during the day I turn it off, and at night it runs all night. So this light gonna be on, shining on my onions as well. So yeah. Okay, y'all, this is what the onions is looking like after a week. I transplant. They're growing already, guys. As y'all can see, I gave it a haircut. I cut it down to at least here, and now it's grown at least 2 inches taller within a week. Right here, it's almost ready for this cell tray to be transplant in the yard, because you see how thick that stem is. That's what you want. You want your stems to be this thick or even thicker to even transplant it outdoors. But I'm gonna give it some more time. It's only been a week, so in 1 more week I'm gonna go ahead in with a fish fertilizer and give it another feed, which is I feed the onions twice a week with the fish fertilizer. So it will be time for another feed, and I will give you guys an update, and I will come back with another video when I transplant it in the spot inside of the garden.
Thanks for hanging out with me. Y'all comment below and let me know how your onions going. If you're planting onions, how it's going, or if you're not planting onions and you thinking about planting onions, it's your time, y'all. It's the time to drop those onion seeds and get those seeds going, because we don't have time, y'all. We don't have time, and we got to get that going. So if y'all have any other questions about the onion seeds, I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. um I will be giving y'all updates on how my onions doing. And for sure, I am going to make another video me transplanting the onions outdoors. So don't worry about that. I just gotta wait till they get a little bit bigger. And if you're interested in me transplanting my onions inside of my green stalk, go ahead and check that video out. I give helpful tips on transplanting those seedlings inside of the green stalk. I did my first tier, the first 2 tiers, all onions. So y'all go check that video out, and y'all have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.